Walk us through the process. If I'm a prospective tenant and I'm looking at the square box
Mm-hmm.
and we call you in, kind of walk us through the process of how you would work with that tenant.
Sure. So if you're, whether you're a prospective tenant or looking to purchase a building, we touched on a little bit earlier with helping you to evaluate space and see which spaces might work best for you. But typically our first step would be to sit down with you and talk about what you're trying to achieve. What are your goals for the new space? What's your company do? What's the culture? What's the image you want to portray? What do you need to get into the space? Is it just, 20 offices and 50 workstations? Is it a lot of meeting space? Are there some unique specialty things? What are the features? Is there something, you have a really unique lab that you want to kind of have as a jewel and a showcase in the space? Questions like that. And as well as the obvious ones of, how many people and how many offices and things. But that's our first step, is to get to know you and get to know your company so we understand what it is you're trying to achieve with this new space. Then once we have an understanding of that, then we can kind of put together some rough ideas on square footage that you might need. And as you start to look at spaces, you might know that you need 15,000 square feet. And again, you've got two different spaces that are 15,000 square feet. We can do some very quick, what we call block plans. There's no doors or windows or anything shown, but just boxes of how offices and conference rooms and spaces would fit into the space. So you get a sense of, one, that yes, everything I want will fit into this building or lease space. And two, how does it flow? Like, yeah, everything fits here, but the front desk to the main meeting room are 20 miles apart because it's just physically not possible to have those closer. It's too long and narrow or too spread out. So we can help you evaluate those things. So those are kind of the first initial steps. Once you have a space, then we can really dive into that floor plan, refine it, talk about the details of the space, if there's some unique ceiling features or lighting or cabinetry or something like that. So we'll go through that, work through that. It's a lot of interactive back and forth, concepts, sharing ideas, getting your input on, yes, I love it, no, I don't, in what direction to go. And then once we get to the point of looking at the materials and the finishes for the space, typically what we do is we pull a couple different palettes. And by palettes, I mean, if it's an office space, it's maybe a carpet, 3 or 4 paint colors, maybe a vinyl for a break room floor, or a solid surface like a Corian for a countertop. And it might be in the blue family. And then we pull another one that's in the orange family, or whatever it might be as far as an accent goes. One might be more blues and grays, and the other is more oranges and browns. But it gives us, and at that point, we're just looking for what resonates with you. Yuck, I hate cool grays, we don't want to go in that direction, or this is exactly what we like, and at that point, it's not that this blue color goes on this wall to the right, but it's just in general what resonates with you. And sometimes it's then taking those and saying, I really like the grays, but instead of a blue accent, we'd rather have a red accent or an orange accent, so in tweaking those. And then once we have that sense of a good direction, then we take that and really fine tune it into how those materials, how those finishes, how all the details of the space fit and work together. And then we come back again and say, okay, now, and kind of walk through the space. When you walk into your space in the lobby, you'll have this on the floor, the ceiling, might have a unique light fixture, or the ceiling height changes and has some interesting feature to it. There might be a counter for a reception area. We'll have the specific material and details of what that counter would look like and things. And then once both the layout and all the materials and finishes and stuff have been approved, then we would put together what we would call construction drawings, which is more giving your contractor the directions so that they know each room they walk into, they can look at the plan and say, this is what's on the floor, this is what's on the north wall, the east wall, the south wall, the west wall, this is what's on the ceiling, this is a unique feature in this room. So they can walk through room by room and understand, one, to give you pricing, and two, then to order it and create the space for you.